Hey there! Ever find yourself just staring at a sentence, trying to figure out where the heck the commas are supposed to go? Yeah, it feels like a total guessing game sometimes. But what if I told you it's not about memorizing a million different rules? It's actually way simpler. It's about understanding just a few basic building blocks. So let's get right into it and swap that comma confusion for some real comma confidence. Okay, take a look at this sentence. Kind of hard to read, right? It's one of those sentences that just feels like a tangled mess. Your brain has to work overtime just to figure out what's going on. Well, 9 times out of 10, when a sentence is a headache to read, it's a punctuation problem. And you know what? We're going to fix this exact sentence in the next few minutes. So, to build anything that lasts, you've got to start with a solid foundation, right? Well, in writing, our foundation is this simple sentence. I want you to think of it like our most essential building block, like a single Lego brick. Everything we're going to build from here on out starts with this one simple piece.
So what exactly is this building block? It's super simple. It's just one complete thought. That's it. All it needs is a subject, that's who or what is doing the thing, and a verb, which is the action itself. Nice and easy. Simple, clean, and totally clear.
All right, and here is the number one most important rule for our foundational block. Ready? Because a simple sentence is just one single thought, it almost never needs a comma. The biggest mistake I see people make, hands down, is trying to split the subject from its verb with a random comma. So whatever you do, keep this building block clean. Don't break it in half. Here's a perfect example for you. I wanted to go to the park. See? It's just one complete thought. We've got our subject, I, and our verb, wanted. No comma needed, no comma in sight. It's clean, it's simple, and it's perfect just like that. Okay, so we've got our basic block down. Awesome. But let's be honest, a single brick by itself isn't all that exciting, is it? So now let's get to the fun part, connecting them together to build bigger, more interesting sentences. And what we get is called a compound sentence. Don't let the name scare you. All it is two of our simple sentence building blocks joined together. That's literally it. Just two complete thoughts, now linked up like partners. So the big question is, how do we connect them the right way? Well, we use a special set of connector words. And there's a super handy little acronym to remember them, FANBOYS. It stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And the rule is dead simple. When you use one of these FANBOYS to hook two complete sentences together, you always put a comma right before it. Let's see this thing in action. We've got two of our building blocks here. I wanted to go to the park, and it started raining. We're going to join them with the FANBOYS word but. So what do? We pop a comma right before the but. I wanted to go to the park, but it started raining. See how that little comma gives you a natural pause? It just makes the whole thing flow so much better. Awesome. So we can build a block, and we can connect two blocks. Now it's time to level up again. Let's talk about adding extra bits of information. You can think of these as like special attachments or little extensions that you can clip onto our main building block.
And doing this creates what's called a complex sentence. Again, not as complicated as it sounds. It just has one of our main building blocks, a complete sentence, plus one of those extension pieces. This little extension is technically called a dependent clause. It's basically a chunk of info that adds context, but it can't really stand on its own as a full sentence.
Now, with these attachments, the comma rule is all about one thing and one thing only, where you put it. Placement is everything. If you put the attachment at the very beginning of the sentence, you need to separate it from the main part with a comma. But, and this is the cool part, if you stick that same attachment on the end, you usually don't need a comma at all. So just remember this, attachment first, comma. Attachment last, no comma. Easy. Okay, check this out. You've mastered the basic block, you've mastered connecting them, and you've mastered adding attachments. Now it's time to put it all together for the master build. This is where your sentences get really powerful. Say hello to the compound complex sentence. I know the name sounds super intimidating, right? But trust me, it's just a mashup of everything we've already learned. All it is at least two of our main building blocks connected with a FANBOYS word, plus at least one of those attachments we just talked about. See? It's just stacking our skills. Remember that messy sentence from the very beginning? Let's look at it again, but this time, it's fixed. Although I wanted to go to the park, it started raining, and I stayed home. Let's break it down. First, we have that attachment at the front. Although I wanted to go to the park. And what's our rule? Attachment first, add a comma. Boom. Then we've got two main building blocks. It started raining, and I stayed home. They're joined by the FANBOYS word and, so we need a comma right before it. See? It's not magic. It's just our simple rules all working together in one perfectly clear sentence.
All right, you've seen the blueprints, you know the rules, now it's your turn to be the architect. Let's do a quick little practice round to make sure all this is sticking. No pressure at all, just a fun way to test your new skills. Okay, let's go over the answers. That first one, that's our big master build, right? It's got the attachment up front, so it gets a comma, and it has the FANBOYS connector and, so it gets a comma there too. The second one uses two FANBOYS, but and so, and you can see we need a comma right before each of them. And that last one is a classic complex sentence. The extra info is at the start, so it absolutely needs that comma. So how'd you do? Feeling good?
You are doing awesome. Seriously. Okay, let's put it all together one last time. This is the final challenge, and it's going to cover everything we've talked about. You ready for this?
So here's the mission, should you choose to accept it. For each sentence coming up, you need to do two things. First, add the commas where they belong, and second, tell me what kind of sentence it is. Is it compound, complex, or the big one, compound complex?
Let's see the answers. Did you start to see the patterns? The first and third ones are both compound sentences, just two complete thoughts joined by a FANBOYS. Easy enough. The second and fourth are those big compound complex ones, because they have that extra attachment piece in there. But look closely at that last one. The attachment because she was sick comes at the end, so no comma there, right? But we still need that comma before but. It follows our rules to a T. Great job. So at the end of the day, I want you to remember this. Commas aren't just annoying little rules you have to memorize. Think of them as traffic signals for your ideas. They are there to guide your reader, telling them exactly when to slow down, when to pause, and how all your thoughts connect. You've got the blueprints now. You know how to build clear, powerful sentences. So the only question left is, what are you going to go build?